How do I become fluent in English is perhaps the biggest question that my students ask. And it's a big question. So today I have some tips and tricks to help you switch your brain to English step by step. Hi, I'm your English coach, Christina, and welcome to Speak English with Christina, the best place to become more confident speaking business English step by step. In today's special compilation revision lesson, it's the summer, let's do something different. Anyway, you'll learn how to speak confidently in 5 steps, what you need to do to take your English fluency to the next level, and how to continue a conversation without searching so much for your words. And after you watch these essential lessons, you'll have stronger foundations for becoming fluent in English all during your learning journey. And as we say in English, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So let's go. The first thing, and probably one of the most important, is, you know what I'm going to say, practice. To feel comfortable speaking English, you have to practice speaking English. One thing students often tell me, I want to hesitate less when I speak. I feel like I'm so slow. And that's probably true. You probably speak English more slowly than in your native language, especially if you look for your words sometimes. But also, this slowness is probably not as bad as you imagine. Most people understand that it's not your native language, and they'll probably be patient and they'll help you find your words when you can't. In my episode, How to Continue a Conversation When You Can't Find the Words, you have lots of tips for managing these situations. But also, don't always sacrifice your objectives because you feel like it's not convenient for others. Show that you want to participate in the conversation, even if you speak a little more slowly. We're generally more comfortable doing things that are familiar to us. So make English a regular part of your life. The more you live in English, the more comfortable speaking English becomes, and the more confident you become. This includes speaking practice, as we mentioned before, but also listening practice. I suggest listening to English as a hobby as much as possible. TV series, podcasts, movies, etc. But also doing specific listening exercises, like the ones in this video on how to use the listening site elo.org. Also, speak to yourself out loud. It's what I did when I was learning French, and it really helped me to feel more comfortable actually speaking the language with other people. When I ask my coaching clients, what are your objectives? They often say, to be more fluent. And my reaction is, no, it's a nice objective, but being fluent means that you need more vocabulary. You need to improve your pronunciation, your listening skills, your speaking skills, your grammar, etc., etc. And it can feel like there's so much to do and you don't know the best place to start. So you try to do a little of everything, and it's harder to see your progress. You have to take it step by step. There's a little saying in English, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And the journey to fluency begins with a single focused goal. My video, How to Become Fluent Faster, will explain exactly how to define your focused goals so you can progress faster and feel more confident. Now, what happens when you define your goals? Sometimes you meet them, woohoo! And sometimes you don't. It's okay. This is part of the learning process. Look at why you didn't meet your goal and make a change. Maybe you were so enthusiastic that you set goals that were too ambitious. I do this all the time, but in the process, I learn how to become better at setting realistic goals. Maybe you need to change your schedule or your habits to make it possible to meet your goals, like setting a fixed time every day to do English. Whatever you do, don't give up, don't stop. Winston Churchill once said, "Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential." Keep pushing forward, and knowing that you are continuously improving will give you the confidence to see your mistakes as learning opportunities, not failures. No. So, are you ready to go out and conquer the world now? Or maybe just start feeling more confident about speaking and learning English? That's already a pretty good objective. Hey, if you learned something in that first video, let me know by subscribing to my channel and giving this video a thumbs up. And this way I know that you're improving your English and you're taking action with me. Now, let's continue by taking your English fluency to the next level. Do you sometimes feel like you're not progressing in English, like you just stay at the same level and you don't continue to improve? Or worse, you feel like your level has decreased. It happens to even the best language learners. So today you'll learn how to take your fluency to the next level. What's happening to your English? It's called hitting the intermediate plateau. Hitting the intermediate plateau. When you started learning English, you could see your improvements pretty easily, but now you feel more like this. It's normal. You've reached a point where you can express your ideas more or less correctly, and you don't really need to improve to communicate your message. So people don't correct you, and perhaps you know that you could be better, but you don't know what to improve or how to do it. And maybe you've just started to accept that you'll never understand all the expressions with get, or phrasal verbs will remain a mystery, or you're doomed to use the same vocabulary that you already have. No, it doesn't have to be this way, but you need to identify what's blocking you. That's the first step to getting off the intermediate plateau. If you need help identifying how to get off the intermediate plateau, you can join my personal fluency coaching. We work specifically on how to accelerate your progress. But first, you need to identify what you need to improve. I need more vocabulary, and I have problems with verb tenses, and I don't have anyone to practice speaking, are not precise enough. We have to really focus on one tiny aspect of English. This way, you improve one small aspect of your English, and then you progress to the next small aspect, and you start seeing progress again. Woohoo! Here's an example. Let's say it's difficult to understand Americans when they talk fast. Maybe your current solution is to watch television series in English, but that's not enough. You need to focus on one aspect of pronunciation. For example, understanding some common phrases the way they really sound. You can focus on these expressions for, let's say, a week to be sure that you understand them. And then at the end of the week, you'll feel your progress starting again. Now, the most important thing at this step is to identify that one precise aspect of English you want to improve. And then the key here is to do activities that help you solve the problem that you identified in the first step. If your objective is to learn a specific grammar structure, watching episodes of The Good Wife probably won't help. If you want to improve your oral comprehension, reading HuffPost isn't going to help. You need the right resources that correspond to your small, precise objective. This way, you focus on making one small improvement to your English so you see progress immediately. Most people say they don't have a good method to learn, or they're lost because there are millions of resources for learning English. It's easy to feel lost. So here are some suggestions. The right resources depends on your number one small, precise objective. But here are some suggestions to guide you. If your objective is just opportunities to speak, there's my Faster Fluency Conversation Club or a language exchange partner on italki. If you need help improving your comprehension, watch my lesson, How to Improve Your Listening Skills, for a ton of resources. If grammar gives you problems, look for specific grammar exercises by Googling it. Something like exercises third conditional English, or exercises prepositions in, on, at English. That will give you lots of online exercises for precise grammar points. I also like the sites grammarbank.com and learnenglishtoday.com because you can browse, look at the different suggestions, browse grammar points. If you need more vocabulary, focus on one specific theme at a time. You can find lots of good themes and vocabulary on learnamericanenglishonline.com/vocabulary, or by watching some Speak English with Christina lessons on specific vocabulary themes like wine, describing movies, idioms from baseball, talking about your flight, etc. After that, you need to plan your activities so that you're sure to actually do something with what you learn. It's one thing to absorb the information through listening, reading, doing a worksheet, But you also need to practice using the language. If you use it in different types of activities, you're more likely to remember the new English point and truly integrate it into your language. Has this ever happened to you? You're in a conversation and suddenly you don't have the specific word you need. You hesitate. You search for your perfect word. The conversation stops. And there's that terrible, awkward silence while you're looking for your words. It's so frustrating. Today, you'll learn how to avoid this situation and continue the conversation fluently even when you don't have the exact right word. Now, what if you don't have the exact word you need? Here are 3 ways to continue the conversation fluently. I call them silly words because they sound funny, but they're actually very common expressions that we native speakers use. In fact, if you use them, people might be so impressed that they don't notice that you didn't have the precise word you're missing. So, win-win situation. These are words like thingamajig. Say that one with me. Thingamajig. Thingamajig. Or another one, whatchamacallit. A whatchamacallit. A whatchamacallit. Or perhaps the most common, thingy. Thingy. We use these words in the place of the precise word that we don't have. For example, this little part of a puzzle piece. Do you know what it's called? Yeah, I don't know what this is called. So I might say this little thingy on the puzzle piece is missing. Or the little thingamajig on the puzzle piece is missing. Or maybe I want Roman to give me this thing so that I can take my Thanksgiving turkey out of the oven. If, for some reason, I forget the precise word for this, I would say, Roman, hand me the whatchamacallit so that I can take the turkey out of the oven. Hand me the whatchamacallit so I can take the turkey out of the oven. Notice that I gave a little description of what I want to do so that the other person can guess what I'm talking about. If I just say, oh, hand me the whatchamacallit, or hand me the thingy, it's a little hard for the other person to know what you're talking about. Sometimes I get very specific questions like this from clients. Christina, what's the English translation for otorhinolaryngol... I can't even pronounce that word in French, but it's spelled like this. Otorhinolaryngologist? Maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, they feel like they need to have this very specific vocabulary to sound intelligent or correct. But in reality, even we native speakers use simpler, more general words. For example, what is the exact translation of this very difficult word in French? In English, it's otorhinolaryngologist. Yeah. Good luck with that pronunciation. Even for us Americans, it's hard, so we use the more general word, ear, nose, and throat doctor. Ear, nose, and throat doctor. Simpler, easier, and just as effective. Another example. Let's talk about Food. Maybe you have one word in English to designate the ensemble of fork, knife, and spoon. In English, we do too. Cutlery or silverware. But if you don't have that specific word, you can use the more general forks, knives, and spoons. Another example. Maybe you don't know the exact word for this or for this, but you probably know the general word boat. Is it less precise? Yes, but it allows you to continue the conversation fluidly, so it's better than silence. Let's take those last examples. You want to tell your American friend about your last weekend, where you went to the beach and you went on a boat. In your head, you're thinking of this type of boat, but you don't have the precise word for it, so you can describe it. For example, I went on a small boat that uses wind to move forward. I went on a small boat that uses wind to move forward. And then your friend will probably confirm your description by saying, "You mean a sailboat?" And bam, you've learned a new word, a sailboat. Another example. Let's say that you've lost Yes, it's Hello Kitty. Yeah. But you've lost it. You're frantically looking for it, and your American colleague asks, "What are you looking for?" But you don't have the precise word for but you can describe it. I lost my little bag where I put pencils in. It's Hello Kitty. I lost my little bag where I put pencils in. And they'll answer, you mean your pencil case. Pencil case. And again, a new word for you. When we describe things, we often use relative clauses like a person who, a person who, a thing that, a thing that, or a place where, a place where. You don't know the exact word for this job, so you could describe it as a person who sells fruit and vegetables at the market. Maybe you don't know the exact word for this object. You could say, the thing that opens wine bottles. And if you don't have the exact word for this place, then you can say, the place where you have a lot of stores and you go shopping. So you can use the vocabulary that you already have to describe the things that you don't know the exact name for. It's the same technique that we native speakers use, and being able to do this is part of speaking fluent English, perhaps even more so than knowing every single precise vocabulary word. If you don't use it, you lose it. So here's how you can use what you learned today. Tell me what tip you found the most interesting and the most relevant to your life. And tell me in the comments how you will implement this tip. It's great that you're watching my lessons. Really, thank you very much for that. But I also want you to take action, to do something so that you make real progress with English. If this lesson was helpful for you, I would love to know. And there are 3 simple ways that you can tell me. Give this lesson a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe to my channel so that you never miss my business English lessons. Go over to ChristinaRebuffet.com and get my free English Habits Kit so that I can help you to build solid English habits for lifelong learning, and watch the next lesson, which is going to help you find time to do your English. All right, thank you so much for improving your English and yourself with Speak English with Christina. I hope that you are enjoying your summer and that you enjoyed this revision lesson. We'll do more of these over the next few weeks while I am away on vacation, recharging my batteries, but I didn't want to leave you with nothing to do during the summer if you wanted to revise your English. So I look forward to seeing you next time.